My grandpa asked in surprise, his voice warm but edged with concern. "Buddy, why did you come by taxi? What happened to the BMW we gave you for your 21st birthday?" The door was half open, the afternoon light slanting across the hallway tiles like a question I didn't know how to answer. My hands were full of sample boxes for the holiday market, glitter still clinging to my hair like nervous snowflakes. "My name is Wade. I'm 26, the oldest grandchild, the quiet fixer in a loud family. If something wobbles, I shim it. If someone forgets a birthday, I drive across town with a cake and a Sharpie. I run a small workshop in a rented garage where I hand-paint Christmas ornaments. Tiny cabins with frosted windows, glass robins, snow globes that don't leak if you seal them right. My hands smell like lacquer most days. People say I'm patient. The truth is simpler. I'm conflict avoidant. I learned early that a calm voice and a credit card solve most family emergencies faster than any argument. Mom likes to say I'm steady. That Saturday, everything snapped. I came to my grandparents' house in a taxi because the BMW wasn't in my life anymore, and my hands were full of fragile boxes. I was halfway up the porch balancing a sample box on my knee when Grandpa opened the door in his sweater vest and said, "Buddy, why did you come by taxi? What happened to the BMW we gave you for your 21st birthday?" I froze. The screen door sighed on its spring. In the hallway mirror, I saw myself, tired, smudged, the kind of guy who would say, "It's fine, it's nothing, don't worry." Before I could answer, my mother stepped out from the dining room, smiling like she already decided the story. "That car belongs to his sister now," she said as if it were a punchline. The room went quiet. My uncle stopped chewing. The old clock in the foyer suddenly sounded very loud. Grandpa went still. He looked at Mom, then at me, then back at her, as if reading labels on cans he didn't remember buying. "Belongs to who?" he asked, even though he'd heard. "To Bree," Mom said. "You know how hard she works. Wade hardly drives. He just paints little balls." She made a soft laugh that pretended to be kind. My uncle snorted. I said nothing. Bree poked her head around the corner, straw in her water, ring light reflection in her eyes. "It's just logistics," she chirped. "I have meetings." Grandpa rubbed his jaw the way he does when doing mental math and patted my shoulder gently. "Come in, son," he said. He didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He folded his napkin and started asking questions in the calm tone he used with contractors who overbid. "When did the car start belonging to your sister?" he asked. "Dad," Mom warned. "Let the boy speak," Grandpa said. And he looked at me. I felt the truth crouch in my chest, scratching. "I don't know," I said. "It just happened." And that was the worst part. It had happened too many times before. People romanticize family business. They picture cinnamon in the air, a bell over the door, cousins laughing while tying bows. In my family, business is the word used when you need Wade to swipe his card without questions. I started WadeWorks ornaments at 19 after a seasonal job packing craft kits. My first paycheck bought a used airbrush with a temperamental trigger and misprinted glass bulbs from a closing party store. Nights I watched lettering tutorials. The first Christmas I froze outside a grocery store, painting ornaments while strangers stopped, smiled, and said names slowly so I could spell them right. Ava, Logan, Coach Ben, names I still remember. By 21, I had regulars and couples ordering tiny replicas of their homes. The BMW was Grandpa's idea. "A craftsman needs reliable wheels," he said. At the dealership, he ignored all the flashy cars and picked a sensible used sedan with good brakes and a big trunk. "This isn't for show, this is for work." He handed me the key with practical pride warmer than any speech. Mom smiled for the photo. Later, the smile cooled, not because she disliked me having a car, but because she wasn't driving the moment. In our house, balance works like this. If Wade has a tool, it becomes community property. If Bree has a platform, it becomes family identity. Bree is 22, charismatic front of house, posting videos, talking to cameras, gathering attention. Once in high school, she got free leggings for a brand shout-out, and you would have thought she discovered penicillin. The creep started small. Bree needed rides, borrowed the BMW just for the weekend. Mom needed the business debit card for an ad. I need login so I can support you with marketing. I said yes because saying no felt like slamming a door in a library. Everyone would hear, everyone would act offended. Then came the first loan. Mom called while I was sealing a dozen tiny reindeer. Honey, your father's hours got cut. Could you front the mortgage just until the tax return? I did, $1,800 plus fees. The next month, utilities, gas, small ad charges. They reminded me constantly, you're the entrepreneur, write it off. Meanwhile, the BMW lived at Bree's. She posted mirror selfies like the car had descended from the content gods. When I asked to use it for a market across town, she said, "Ugh, I already have shoots." You work in a garage. She said it like weather. Mom cut in, "You hardly drive." Wait, Uber is a business expense. Bree has meetings. So I Ubered. I hauled boxes in strangers' trunks. I poured resentment into clean holly leaves, straight paint lines, and silent fingers. Charges hit my card. $249 for a promoted post package, $119 influencer boost, $87 here, $63 there. My business card was linked to a family marketing account. Bree promised on my behalf because we need generosity for audience trust. I added everything twice. The spreadsheet glowed in the 2 a.m. cold. Mortgage transfers, utilities, ad charges, gas for a car I didn't have, gifted inventory, refunds Bree issued without asking. Finally, I wrote, "I've covered a lot. I need the BMW back. Stop using my card." Mom replied instantly, "Ungrateful. Your grandpa gave that car to our family. We decide what's best." Bree dropped a heart on Mom's message. Dad sent a thumbs-up emoji, the universal sign for I don't want to be here. That week, my bank pinged overdraft. I slept on the workshop floor because going home felt like losing ground. I told myself, this is the last time I carry everyone. I will say something. 2 days later, Grandpa's table, roasted chicken, soft rolls, peas with butter that taste like childhood. He passed the peas. "So," he said like asking the weather, "the car?" Mom jumped in. "Dad, don't make this a thing." Grandpa smiled, not moving his eyes. "I'm just asking for the story." Bree stirred her water. "It's simple, I'm using it more." Grandpa looked at me. "And you, son? Do you agree it's simple?" The only word I managed was small but solid. No, it didn't fix everything, but it changed me. The next morning, Mom added me to a new chat called Holiday Strategy, color-coded cells and percentages that looked like a ransom note. She asked me to cover 60% of the booth's materials, while Bree got 20% for marketing and 20% for family fund. I stared. Theft disguised as teamwork. I connected my account for quick payouts. I didn't argue. I opened a new tab, started a list titled Everything I've Paid For. Mortgage transfers, unauthorized charges, inventory losses, total $8,742.19. I drew a line. I will not fund your bills this winter. Return the BMW by Friday 5 p.m., or I'll report unauthorized use of a business asset. Friday at 5:23 p.m., the BMW wasn't in my lot. At 5:26 p.m., I clicked Report Vehicle Misuse with my insurer and sent the PDF to family, plus Grandpa and my aunt, who's a paralegal. My phone lit up like a slot machine. "Mom, how dare you involve outsiders?" "Bree, you ruined my weekend." Me, return the car or I proceed. At 7:11 p.m., headlights swung into the lot. Bree stepped out, tossed the keys like chewing gum, wouldn't meet my eyes. "Tank's low, I needed it." New scratch on the rear door. I took photos. I said nothing. She ordered an Uber and left. The lot went quiet except for my cheap banner flapping against grommets. Relief, rage, grief braided together. Grandpa called, "Proud of you. Come by tomorrow." I slept 4 hours and opened my workshop before dawn. December markets are a battlefield. Cold, aching feet, brain whispering that I underpriced everything. But that weekend, after drawing the line, I felt light, as if a box I didn't realize I carried was finally down. Grandpa arrived at 9 sharp wool coat, bought 6 ornaments he didn't need, sat behind my table like a baseball announcer. Good curve on that G. He didn't mention Mom. By noon, I sold out dog bone ornaments. My phone buzzed with Mom's alternating fury and guilt. I muted the thread and painted Milo clean and small. Sunday, Grandpa called a family coffee. Everyone came. He had 2 folders, my spreadsheet and a thin stack of documents with tabs. Mom launched in. "Dad, Wade is blowing this up. Bree needed support. He's punishing her." Grandpa held up a hand. "Numbers first." He tapped the folder. "Wade has transferred just under $9,000 to your household this year and paid about $2,000 in business charges without authorization. He also lost use of a vehicle purchased specifically for his work. That is theft by use, even if you didn't intend harm." Bree's mouth opened and closed. Mom laughed brittle. "Dad, don't use legal words. This is family." "Grandpa, family should be the last place you encounter theft." He turned to me. "What do you want, Wade?" I didn't give a speech. I said 3 things. Stop unauthorized charges, a repayment plan, and a boundary. My business is mine. Grandpa nodded. "Good." He slid the thin stack to me. "I want you safe. Years ago, I set aside a small trust for family needs. I've reassigned it to you for the business." It wasn't a fortune, but enough for a proper lease and a second workbench. Mom pointed. "You can't reward his tantrum." Grandpa's eyes were kind, unmovable. "I'm encouraging work and boundaries." Dad tried a middle path. "Maybe Wade could still contribute?" "No, I won't fund the house. I'll help with groceries if I can, that's it." Mom's finger shook. "You owe us. We raised you." I said quietly, firmly, "I choose to be respected." "Bree, so where does that leave me?" "Grandpa, dependence isn't a brand." I returned to my workshop. I signed a short corner unit lease, moved racks at night, printed a clean window sign, and posted one hands-only video online. Grandpa pressed the heart. Mom adjusted strategy. She asked to borrow blanks. I said no. She asked to borrow the BMW. I said no. That was it. Customers began sharing their own boundary stories as I painted. A nurse who stopped paying her brother's tickets. A grandmother who said no to being a holiday ATM. They left lighter. Grandpa sat in the back with a crossword. "Work is long but honest. That beats applause." I realized saying no didn't shrink my life. It made room. I sleep. I eat on plates. I stop by the senior center monthly. I call things what they are. I refuse to be used. I make small, breakable things that somehow last. I will help gladly, but I will not be anyone's bank. I will not be guilted into sponsoring the version of me they prefer. Silent wallet, paint under my nails, steady hands. A life that feels like mine.